SCCA Pro Rally is back. Today we're in the Tioga Forests of Pennsylvania. Last year, Carl Merrill triumphed over the fast gravel to take the victory. He's back today to try and make it 2 in a row. Henry Joy had a bad day last year. He gets into the notoriously hard banks, and then it goes from bad to worse. With damaged steering, it put him into the bank again. His day was over, and he will sit it out today. A disaster also last year for Bruno Krybeck. You get just a little offline, you're in big trouble. The speeds are fast and the banks are so close, it makes it one of the most challenging rallies of the year. Hello again, everybody. I'm Marty Reed, and we are just outside Wellsboro in central Pennsylvania for the Susquehannock Trail SCCA Pro Rally. And this is one that brings out the crowds. Thousands of spectators from all over the Northeast turn the entire town into a rally celebration with the cars and drivers on display in the center of town. It's a great way to get close to the sport. With a record field of 82 entries, there's a lot to see, and one guy to watch is Frank Sprongel.
Past 4 years, we always had turbo or engine problems before this event, so I'm jinxed up to now. But this year, same thing. We fixed the car last minute last night, got the turbo in, rebored one. Hopefully it'll last, and it's going to be a brand new rally, maximum attack.
Last year's winner, Carl Merrill, is a bit more cautious. He knows the risks out there.
The roads are super fast, they're hard, not forgiving at all. I mean, you make a mistake here, you're out of the rally. I mean, you saw it last year with Bruno. You saw Henry Joy dump the car. I mean, the banks just don't give you a chance to slip it off the road and still be with the rally for the day.
Defending champion Paul Schwanier is behind in the points coming into this event. He needs to do well.
Well, as you know, we missed the last event due to illness, and so we're a little bit behind in the points chase now, but we like this event, and the Tiburon set up well for it, so I'm looking forward to a good event.
First on the road is Frank Sprongel for the ceremonial start in town. Looks like he's ready to go, but remember one thing, you got to obey the speed limit until you get into the woods. Now, let's take a look at the route. This entire event takes place in one very long day, 339 miles of excellently maintained gravel roads of the Tioga Forest. They stop for one break in Wellsboro and then race late into the night. Frank Sprongel takes off on stage one. He has the advantage of being in front of the dust, and he likes this event.
The roads are very twisty. It's a more driver-oriented road. You got to be careful. You make one mistake here, and you're going to clip a tree or a ditch in the end of the rally for you. It's non-forgiving. It's a very technical rally. I enjoy it personally, and I think a few other drivers do.
We're on board with Frank as he heads into this downhill left-hander. Look out. Oh, mercy. If he goes over the edge, say goodbye to the onboard camera because it's mounted on top of the roof. It's going to cost him some time. He needs speed on these first two stages because they will decide the reseed order after the break. He wants to stay first on the road. Carl Merrill now up. He'll take the stage next, and we're going to go on board with the Vermont Sports Car in-car camera. Carl has a slightly different strategy for that water section.
I'd like to put some distance between us right at the beginning, but I'm sure that won't happen. So I'm smart enough to understand that. And the water crossing, I'm going to pussyfoot across. I'm not going to go fast. Because twice I've been put out of the rally right now.
And as we go to the roof camera, he's slowing down, approaching the water. And this is definitely a different approach. Drivers say you can't win the rally on the first stage, but you can lose it. Carl knows what he's doing. Not much thrill for the crowd, though, especially those that want to get a splash. Paul Schwanier off the line now. These guys haven't done an event in 2 months. There is some speculation that he may be a little rusty. When we talked to him earlier, though, he seemed ready for the challenge.
Well, the roads here are typically very fast, so you need a lot of horsepower and a lot of good brakes, and the Tiburon has both of those, so I'm looking forward to some good, tight competition.
As he gets to the water, we'll give you a view from the roof. No slowing down here. He's in a hurry. Winner of our last event, Jamaican David Somerville, up next. He's ready, but
we expected to have more horsepower at this event. We don't have it. We're just going to have to go pretty hard and see if we can hang in there and keep running with the top guys. We have some bigger tires running. Hopefully, that will help us.
You need all the help you can get out here, especially when you've got 80 other teams chasing you. But this Jamaican team has surprised a lot of people already this season. They have the right stuff to win, and as they head towards the water, no time wasted. I think the cameraman even got wet on that one. Another Jamaican team is here. Dean Panton told us his plans.
I plan on going out and with the first two stages, if I could pick up a little bit, I'll be able to at least move ahead of these guys. Here in Pennsylvania, I hear dust is a big problem, so it's good to try and get ahead of the slower cars so you don't have the dust problem halfway through a stage.
Well, no dust problem right there as he goes through the river. After the first stage, Panton has moved all the way from 23rd to 3rd. Keep an eye on him. Schwanier out front, Somerville second.
Whoever's fastest on the first two stages today is going to start the evening sections first on the road. So if there were to be any dust, it would be a big benefit. So we went very well, and it looks like we may have won the first stage. So if we can do that again in the next one, we'll be all set.
Mike Whitman now coming through the river. That's a life preserver. I hope it doesn't say Titanic on it. More rally action after this.
$250? It's only a little scratch.
Here a scratch, there a scratch, everywhere a scratch. And they're all an eyesore. What you need is GS27 Scratch Remover. It's new from Duralube. GS27 gets rid of those surface scratches and paint swirls quickly and easily. Simply rub GS27 into the scratch, then polish it to a beautiful finish. The scratch is gone.
I still can't believe it was that easy. GS27 got rid of those scratches in less than a minute. It's great.
GS27 is not an abrasive. It's a superfine microscopic crystallite that works its way into the scratch and polishes it away. And look, you don't have to go crazy trying to match colors. That same tube of GS27 works wonders on any color car. You have to see it to believe it. Amazing!
The repair shop said it had to sand, prime, and paint. What a bunch of bull. GS27 took that ugly scratch away in no time.
Watch. Would you do this to a brand new car? Ouch! But GS27 removes that ugly scratch quickly and easily. What a difference! GS27 is so effective, it'll even remove paint scrapes, ugly rust from chrome bumpers, and scratches and scrapes from your boat's gel coat. GS27 is only $14.95. But wait! Order now and get a second tube for only $5. That's two for just $19.95. It'll remove those surface scratches from your car or your money back. Don't live with those ugly scratches and don't spend a fortune to remove them. Order your GS27 Scratch Remover now.
Call toll-free 1-800-313-2400 or send check or money order for $14.95 for one or $19.95 for two, plus $5.95 shipping and handling too. GS27, 1000 Apex Street, Department GS, Nashville, Tennessee. Or call now 1-800-313-2400.
Today's Speed World event is being brought to you by Vermont Sports Car, when you're ready to win. And by Ruby's Restaurants. Ruby's, where the food is great. And by the Sports Car Club of America, celebrating 25 years of pro rally in America. Marty Reed back with you here at the Susquehannock Trail Rally. Back on board with Frank Sprongel as he kicks off stage 2. He's going to be working hard here to make up time. That spin on the last stage put him back to 7th. And with the dust that we have seen out here so far, it will not be a competitive road position after they reseed starting with stage 5. If he can close the gap, the rest of his day will be much easier. Comes to the finish, 2:15.09. That's a good total time, but will it be good enough? Carl Merrill behind him on the stage. You can see the crowds everywhere out here. The bridges are not too wide, no room for error. Carl keeping a conservative line. He's looking for a steady drive, not taking a lot of chances. As he comes to the finish line, he's 19 seconds slower than Frank Sprongel. Next on the stage, Paul Schwanier, quicker pace here. He is pushing hard. Brakes critical at these speeds, and these guys changed brake rotors after the river crossing, so they have a lot of extra confidence. No real rain is forecast, so the dust will continue to be a big factor, and he wants to be out front after the break. Coming to the finish line, watch for the clock. Whoa, 28 seconds better than Frank Sprongel. There's your new race leader. Can anybody beat it? Well, David Somerville's going to try. After his last win at Rim of the World, he is the current points leader in the series, and he'd like nothing better than to expand on it here. Even though this is his first time at this event, his co-driver Mike Fennell has lots of experience that will help quite a lot. As he comes towards the finish line on the stage, keep an eye on the clock. 15:08, not enough to take over the overall lead. Let's go on board with Dean Panton. That's Dean Fry ahead of him. And will he let him by? Yeah, he moves over. Even though he's in third overall, he has to fight through the slower traffic until the reseed, but he's making the most of it. Imagine if this guy had started out front. Let's go back on board now, and whoa, he clipped the bank there. Wait for his time to cross the line. 15-17, that'll move him up to fourth. A big improvement. Here's Frank Sprongel now on stage 3. His time puts him third on the road after the reseed. He wants to take advantage of the 2 remaining dust-free stages while he can. On the brakes hard for the pendulum turn. You want to keep as much speed through this as possible. Speeds up to 100 miles an hour on the straightaways. Carl Merrill now setting up for the turn. He swings in the opposite direction to get the car sliding, then brings it back around. Tire grip is minimal in that corner. Schwanier building on his 30-second lead over the field now. He is running second in series points currently and looking to get back on top. As we go on board, looks like business as usual for this team. Schwanier trimming the apexes of the corners very neatly. Whoa, look out. All of a sudden, they go over. Now watch the replay and take a look at the ferns on the right side, because it looks like as soon as he clips that, there must have been a rock or something underneath, and they roll over twice, and this team is out.
We were doing pretty well on stage 3, and we found one of Pennsylvania's hidden stumps in the bushes back there, and the right front wheel hit the stump and threw the car up into the air onto the bank, so it was the end of our day.
2 times, I think, and ended up the way you see it over there.
Tough break. Takes a piece out of the wheel. Now Dean Panton is next through, and he's coming up to the corner, sees the wreck. Everyone's okay, and he now knows his chances for victory just went up dramatically. And as he comes through the pendulum turn, take a look at the rear. That missing bumper, remember when he grazed the side of the bank? Well, he left it back there. Panton's countryman David Somerville makes it through the stage just fine, but Frank Sprongel is going to finish up stage 4 just barely in the lead, and this is extremely close. How close? Try 6/100ths of a second after 4 stages. Merrill holds third with Panton fourth. Mike Whitman moves into the 5th position, and the crowds are getting a great show. As Sprongel pulls into the service area, he knows there's still a lot of rally racing yet to do.
It's a rude awakening. On first stage, we got our clocks wiped by 18 seconds, so I had to get back into it. And we're probably about a second right now slower than Paul is, but I just found out he's went off on the last stage. I was taking it easy. It's a long way to go yet, so it's not over till last stage tonight.
Carl Merrill is having no equipment problems so far, but the driver is another story.
I started the 2nd stage, and I was shaken because it was so marbly and crowned. I just said, wow, you know, so I backed off a little, and after that, I get right into it. The last 2 stages were fantastic. They're really twisty, fun stages to drive, but you have to be very, very careful, not forgiving at all. And I think probably Mr. Soignier will vouch for that.
And the Jamaicans remain a huge force to be reckoned with as the rally unfolds. We're back with the afternoon stages when we come back to Pennsylvania.
Greatest of all trails. It has blue skies, gray skies, and black skies. It's made of rock, dirt, concrete, and sometimes nothing but air. No one knows where it starts or where it ends. Have you ever come across this trail? Keep it to yourself. I've got a whole life left to search.
Voice, come in. Check.
Check. 1, 2. Right on the set, please. I'm doing good.
Somebody smoking in here?
Come on, who's smoking? Hey, let's clear the air. I'm doing just fine.
Atlanta Falcons take on the New York Giants on ESPN Sunday Night Football.
I have to tell you something. This Giants team impresses me.
Why? Why do you have to
tell me this. Are you a football scout?
I was in the Scouts.
I have an appreciation for the way they play the game.
No one cares.
You sell cookies?
As a fan,
I got trouble with
I
cookies.
appreciate the Giants as a fan. I have the right to appreciate the Giants, don't I?
ESPN Sunday Night Football. Falcons, Giants.
He was in the Scouts.
We're in Wellsboro, Pennsylvania. Marty Reed with you, and the Susquehanna Trail SCCA Pro Rally continuing. We get ready to head out from the center of town once again. The crowd's out in full force. David Somerville very happy because he's going to be first on the road. That suits him just fine.
Well, for the first time, I hope there's a lot of dust. It's going to be different. We're not on the road before, so it's going to be a learning experience again. I hope it'll be fast. I hope it'll be good. And I hope it'll be dusty and keep everybody slow.
Looks like he's going to get his wish as he heads out on stage 5. Somerville kicking up a ton of dust on this dry course. Organizers have kept the 1-minute window between cars because of the huge field. And that means everyone behind Somerville is going to have a tough time. One of those guys is Frank Sprongel. He'll be making the most of it, though.
We're second on the road because of reseed. We spun on the first stage, therefore we're second on the road right now, but I can't complain second. It's better sometimes to be second than first, just because you have a set of tracks in front of you, can follow somebody.
Of course, you've got to be careful. Look out. Right over the top of that one, you can see why these cars have to be built tough. He's going to get going again, and not too much time lost there. Dean Panton coming through now. He's looking to keep his charge going. He's gone from 23rd to 3rd on his first American outing, and he's still hungry for more. We go on board into the right-hander. Whoa, getting a bit wide. Seems like he hit the rear end. And if he has the bumper missing already like he does, maybe that's some damage. Carl Merrill, 4th on the road, keeping the pressure on the guys up front. Let's go on board. And let's compare with Frank Sprongel running actually ahead by 1 minute. Compare the times on the stage. Watch the scenery. You can tell that Carl is faster through this section. And as he comes to the end of the stage, we'll look for his time at the top. Merrill comes across the line at 10.72. Sprongel, he stops the clock at 10.94. So Merrill's closing in. Stage 7 now. Somerville has moved into the lead. Following Sprongel's slide earlier, he is putting on a solid drive on his first trip here to Pennsylvania. As he comes into the spectator area, seems to be slowing though. There's no damage, but he is definitely off his pace. Here comes Frank Sprongel fighting through the dust. That's Somerville's dust, and the thicker it gets, that means he's catching up to Somerville. Moving ahead just a few turns, the dust has dissipated, and that's the reason why Somerville is off to the side of the road and out of the car. The 3rd lead change of the day. The rally isn't even half over. Dean Panton is thick in the dust. He's trying to catch Frank Sprongel. And as we go on board, he is now beginning to slow. The car is coming to a stop. Not a good stage for the Jamaicans. Panton seems to be out of it with engine problems. Here we go with Carl Merrill right behind them. He's pushing. He hasn't seen the Jamaican problems yet. He needs to make up time. We go on board. Whoa, he's getting it sideways. Hangs on to it. Keeps it from going into the tree. That's got to be frustrating. Probably good we don't have a intercom system microphone hookup there. With all the action in front, some of the other solid teams that are making steady progress. Mike Whitman started in the 20th spot. He's now heading for position number 4. And there's John Kemp. He's moving up the ladder after some early delays. He's looking at 5th position right now. But the eye-opener in Group 2 driver John Nichols, who's gone from 11th to currently running 3rd. No one told him Group 2 cars aren't supposed to go that fast. So he's going that fast. So Frank and Dan Sprongel move to the top of the chart. They have a 1:27 lead over Carl Merrill and Lance Smith. David Somerville currently down to 22nd place, but he did make it back to service. We've caught up with co-driver Mike Fennell.
We started with very little fuel, figuring that we'd barely make it out, but in the end, you know, we ran out with about 8 miles left to go. Luckily, we found some spectators there who had, it's a big stroke of luck, 5 gallons of gasoline, so we were able to top up and continue, but we still lost about 10 minutes on the stage to the leaderboard.
And the look says it all. Less serious problems over at the Sprongel team.
We had a little brain fade on driver part. I went off on the 3rd last stage and a hairpin left. I cut in and went through a rock. I did some front suspension damage. We checked it out, seems to be okay.
Smooth sailing, however, for Carl Merrill. John Buffum has caught up with Carl.
Carl, what's happened in the last couple stages?
Well, the last 3 stages, there was dust on there. It was heavy dust. I did get a break when Dean Penton, something happened to him, so I got a jump on him and got a 2-minute window, but on the last stage, which helped an awful lot.
We have quite a change then. The restart in Wellsboro at 5 o'clock had David Somerville in the lead. He's now out of the rally. We have Frank Sprongel leading the rally with Carl Merrill in second, as Dean Penton has also stopped permanently.
Thanks, John. A lot of changes, a lot more to come when we come back.
Wow, that was almost as good as the Jolly Rancher.
Jolly Rancher, it's intense.
When sports cream, when legs are sore, when backs ache, when muscles hurt. Wise Sports Cream, rubbing it in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. Wise Sports Cream, because it works.
That's a Fullerton suspension bridge. The strength-to-weight ratio of those arches is 1,000 to 1. And the support cables are tungsten wrapped with zirconium flex plates. They'll easily support the weight of this bus.
Okay, so what are you, some kind of structural engineer?
No, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
College football Saturday. First at noon, Northwestern Iowa.
With his size and speed, wide receiver Dwayne Bates is one of the best receivers in the entire country.
At 5:30, Cincinnati, Syracuse.
Syracuse offense. McNabb, the Spotwood, the Johnson. Whoa, they're going to score a lot of points.
Then at 8:30,
it's Wisconsin's big guy, Ron Dane, against Purdue's high-powered offense.
Northwestern Iowa at noon. Cincinnati, Syracuse at 5:30. Purdue, Wisconsin at 8:30. Saturday on ESPN2.
Each week, we take an in-depth look at rally racing in a segment we call Rally Dirt. John Buffum recently traveled to Williston, Vermont to find out about renting a rally car.
Thanks, Marty. We're seeing a large influx of new people into pro rallying. ESPN2 coverage probably helping. We're here with Lance Smith of Vermont Sports Car. He's offering a rental program. Lance, tell us about it.
John, our Arrive and Drive program is basically catered to the individual who's very busy in his life, probably doesn't want to take the time to prepare and maintain a car, set up the crew and all of the equipment. Basically, he can arrive at the event. We will provide plane tickets, hotel arrangements, everything that's needed, a car that's built for that event, and he can go and campaign with reliable equipment. Running the championship ourselves, we have knowledge of each individual event. If someone wanted to go to the West Coast or the East Coast, the car should be right for that event.
We've seen it done in other forms of motorsports over the last 20 years. Rental cars. Lance Smith of Vermont Sports Car is now bringing it to pro rallying.
So now let's check out what's going on some of the other classes over in Group 5. Steve Gingras got off to a great start, getting up to 4th overall before getting sidelined with electrical problems. That handed the reins to Ralph Cosmides in the Ruby's Toyota. He worked his way up to 5th overall. And as we go on board with Ralph, he will get a look at Gingras parked by the side of the road. Bruce Newey was having a great run in his first event of the year when a very fast rollover slowed him down and eventually put him out of the running. That handed things back to Ralph Cosmides. Everything was going great until, look up front, there's smoke.
Well, we were running real well. The Ruby's Toyota Supra was doing great. One of the turns, we had a really acute turn, and we must have kicked a rock up into the fan belt and through the belt, and unfortunately we didn't have a spare, so kind of ended our day.
When the smoke cleared, Rick Davis came out on top to take the class win through all the dust. Over in Group 2, Chris Havis finally got the new motor he's been waiting on since last season, put it to good use early in the event, moving ahead in the first few stages. He found he had plenty of horsepower, which was good, but then his transmission gave out from all the power. That's not good. A quick swap at the brake got him going again, but then after all the work that they put in getting back on the road, the brakes started to overheat. Watch the sparks coming off there on the left side on the front wheels. Without brakes, well, it's hard to stay on the road. And that put him out of the running. Bill Malik got some of the kinks out of his car and was able to hold on for a second-place finish. But John Nichols had to get out the tools. Despite a bent rear axle in the race, he was able to not only take the class win, but a 4th overall in a two-wheel drive car. That's not bad for a day's work. In production GT class, Bill Drigger, last year's class winner, was strong until suspension failure put him out, putting Cal Landau into the winner's seat despite engine problems of his own. Then in the production class, Jay Kowalik, in a car with a continuously variable transmission, took the win despite some rough knocks. Whoa, no engine braking with this setup, but this could be the wave of the future. 5 speeds, beware. When we come back, the open class battle resumes. Don't go away. We're at the Susquehannock Trail SCCA Pro Rally.
Time Life invites you to own the ultimate World War II video set. For the first time, see where the war was won and lost. In Air War and War at Sea, 2 gut-wrenching videos in one incredible offer. It's the World War II pack from Time Life Video. Never before seen footage puts you in the front lines of the war of the century. Air War takes you on white-knuckle bombing runs through hostile German skies. War at Sea takes you aboard ship during ferocious firefights in the South Pacific. Moment by moment, the battles unfold. See them so close you'll think you're part of the action. Take advantage of this incredible offer and get both Air War and War at Sea for just $9.99. That's 2 great videos for just $9.99. Later, you can preview other Century of Warfare tapes. There's never a commitment to buy. Cancel anytime. Call now for the World War II pack.
Call 1-800-426-0440 to order World War II pack for only $9.99, or send check or money order to the address on your screen.
A great tradition is reborn on ESPN2. Friday Night Fights, showcasing today's best boxing along with classic bouts of the past. This week, Tate takes on Telesco, plus part 2 of the Muhammad Ali retrospective. Friday Night Fights, Friday at 8 on ESPN2.
Today's Speed World event is being brought to you by Vermont Sports Car, when you're ready to win. And by Ruby's Restaurants, Ruby's, where the food is great. And by the Sports Car Club of America, celebrating 25 years of pro rally in America. Marty Reed back with you at the Susquehannock Trail SCCA Pro Rally. Into the night now, stage 13. Frank Sprongel still in the lead, first on the road, and he has settled into a very nice rhythm. He will be hard to beat as he comes towards the finish line of the event. We'll look for his time. Total 2 hours, 20 minutes, 56 seconds. That's very, very good in these conditions. Carl Merrill, look at the dust. He's not giving up, pushing the car to the limit. As he comes towards the finish, if it's good enough for second overall, he could take the series points lead. So keep an eye on the time. It'll be coming up on the left-hand side of the screen. 2:24:32, that's close. He's 3 minutes 40 seconds behind the overall. Here's Noel Lawler, the second Hyundai. His time at the finish, 2:29:34. That's good enough for third right now. Another team hanging in there, Mike Whitman, Paulo Jabot, having their best run of the season at the finish, 2:30 and some change. Good run. Reports of his demise, exaggerated. David Somerville claws his way back to a 7th after losing 10 minutes. Nearly impossible. Watch for him next time. And the champagne is out, and John Buffum is there.
Susquehannock Trail is at an end. Frank Sprongel has come down from Canada to the U.S. and once again beat everybody down here. Frank, how do you do it?
I don't know. First time down here, actually finishing third attempt at it. We won. I'm grateful. I don't know. Americans like me, so I'll keep coming down here.
So Frank Sprongel, brother Dan take their first U.S. win of the season. Carl Merrill second, Noel Lawler third. Big upset in the series point standings. Merrill moving into the lead. Somerville second, and last year's champion is third. John Buffum is with Carl Merrill.
Carl Merrill, the new points leader in the SCCA Pro Rally Championship. How does it feel?
It feels great. I've worked hard for it, and it just came about today. I feel sorry for Paul and Somerville, but I've been there, so my turn today.
Our next stop on the rally circuit, the main Forest event. It'll be airing in early September. Check those local listings for dates and times. A promotional consideration fee provided by Penn Wells Hotel and Lodge in Wellsboro, Pennsylvania. I'm Marty Reed. Thanks so much for joining us here on SCCA Pro Rally Action. We'll see you the next time that we hit the dirt.